Today we're talking about 3 mistakes you're making that's ruining your highlight video on the Gridiron Studs show. Hey, I'm talking to you. Recruiting advice for everyone. It's the Gridiron Studs show. So you just completed a great season. You made yourself a bunch of plays. You're on your way to getting recruited by the colleges, especially the one that you want to go to. Well, that's the first part. You do have to be a good player if you want to get yourself a college football scholarship. But that's not the only thing that's going to get you there. Now there's the marketing part. Didn't think you'd have to deal with that, did you? Well, you're going to. You're going to have to get yourself out there, get yourself marketed, and that's a bigger part of this game than it's ever been before. And part of that is going to be making yourself a highlight video. And as I've watched highlight videos, I watch thousands every year. There are a number of things that I see on highlight videos that could cause a player to not get as recruited as possibly he should be. And should it be like that? No. But what a lot of prospects don't understand is that college football recruiting is highly, highly competitive. Most guys can't even think out of their own general area. But when you really put it all together, there are a number of cities in a county, within a state, within this country. So that means there are thousands upon thousands of players that are out there that you are competing against for college football scholarships. And the special school that you may want that offer from to be able to attend is looking at hundreds, sometimes thousands of prospects, oftentimes thousands of prospects, and that makes everything a lot more competitive for you. So how are you going to stand out against the next guy? One of those ways is making yourself a highlight video that's going to get yourself recruited. And here's the 3 mistakes that I think guys are making that's really hurting their chances with their highlight video. Number 1, failing to highlight yourself before the play starts. That's one of the biggest mistakes that I see. For whatever reason, some guys want to highlight themselves after the snap. It'll be in the middle of the play. Suddenly you'll see an arrow jump in there and you find the player as everything is going on in the play. And here comes the arrow and it shows the player. Well, you know what I would really like to see, and what I know the college football coaches would like to see, is they'd like to see what you did before the snap. They'd like to see from snap to whistle exactly what you did. Hey, listen, maybe you didn't take the best route towards that play. At the end of the day, you made the play though. So let's not try and hide what happened at the snap or before the snap. The best thing you could do, especially if you're in the interior of an offensive line or defensive line, is highlight yourself before the play. Don't try to just throw the arrow in there at the moment you started playing right within the play. Again, at the end of the day, you made the play. The end result was a positive play for your team in which you were the star of. So let's not try and just throw ourselves in late. The only guys that I think that would have to highlight themselves late in a play are going to be the guys that play outside of the screen. So if you're a free safety, let's say, or if you're a cornerback and you're outside of the screen before the play starts, then obviously you can't highlight yourself before the play. And in those situations, I totally understand you highlighting yourself late. You can't highlight yourself until you're in the screen. But you linebackers and defensive line and offensive linemen, or even your running back sometimes, guys, highlight yourself before the play. Coaches want to see you again from snap to whistle. All that is part of being able to judge you as a player. They want to see your thought process. I'll tell you what does go through their mind. First of all, it gets to be a little annoying that you can't find the player before the play. That's number 1. I'm just telling you that as someone who watches film and someone who's talked to college coaches who have also watched film. It gets a little annoying for them. And to be honest, if they've got a lot of videos to watch and they don't know who you are, there's a strong chance they could pull that tape out prematurely. And now your video is not even getting watched over a small thing like not highlighting yourself before the play. That's number 1. Number 2 is they, again, don't want to go searching around for you. You may even open yourself up to having another guy on the team be seen. Since no one's highlighted, that coach's eyes can go anywhere. He can look at anything. And he may end up falling in love with another player. Maybe not from your team, but maybe from another team. And now he's calling up the coach from that team you were playing against to ask about another player that he saw when he should have been looking at you from the beginning. So get the coach's attention right away. Put the arrow on you before the play, and let's watch what you did from the snap all the way to the whistle. Don't try to hide anything, guys. They're smarter than that. And you don't want to irritate a coach and have him pull your video out before he should. But before I drop tip number 2, go ahead and hit me in the comment section with your name, what high school you play for, and what positions you play. It's always interesting to see what part of the country guys are watching the Gridiron Studs show from. I would love to see exactly where you play from. And then also, if you're not on the Gridiron Studs app, now's a good time for you to head over, download it, and build yourself a profile. On to tip number 2. The second mistake that I'm watching guys make on their highlight video that may be ruining it is, listen, I love Huddle. We all love Huddle. It's the best highlight video making software that's out there. It's being used by everybody. And, you know, of course, they're just trying to improve on their product. And they've come out with a whole bunch of pointers that you can use on your highlight video to show where you are. Great. Some of those are, let's say, cinematic. They're for guys that want to be entertained by a highlight video. But if you're making a highlight video to get recruited by colleges, stick to the simple pointers. That college coach is not there to be entertained by snazzy graphics. They want the raw material. They want to see you, the football player. They want to see you before the snap. They want to see you all the way through the play and to the end of the whistle. And so if you are not making the mistake of pointing yourself out late, but you're trying to point yourself out on a play before it starts, and you're using one of those crazy Huddle pointers, and it's hard to tell which one of those players you are, especially when you're along the offensive or defensive line, you're doing yourself a disservice. Again, you run the risk of that pointer being pointed to someone else. And you know, guys know what I'm talking about if you've used Huddle. They've got a bunch of different pointers now. Some of them are great. They've got little sayings on it. It's cool. Those are great for your friends. But if you're trying to get recruited by a college, guys, again, stick to the simple pointers, the ones that have the arrow that points right down on your helmet or on your back, so there's no confusion as to which player you were on a play. Sometimes a lot of stuff happens in the interior of a line between the offense and defensive line, or linebackers are running up into the line. If you are using some kind of crazy pointer that doesn't really make it clear which player it is, how do we even know? I mean, you're following, a coach could be following the wrong player on a particular play. And again, you run the risk of that coach falling in love with another guy. That's not you. So the number 2 thing is use a very simple pointer. You're not here to entertain the coach with graphics unless you weren't really that good of a player and you're trying to use smoke and mirrors. It's not about smoke and mirrors. It's about you made great plays. You want to show that you're a great football player. Let's not make it hard for the coach. Use the simple pointer, the one that has a very pointy tip, points right at the coach, right at you, right at your head, right at your helmet, or right at your body. So there's, again, no mistaking who you were, where you were on the play, and it singles you out before the snap so we could see everything that you've done throughout the entire play. Again, from snap to whistle. So first, let's highlight ourselves before the play. Second, let's make sure we use a proper pointer so there's no mistaking us for someone else that was on the field. You want all the attention on you. The third thing is this: waiting too long to put your best play on your highlight video. If you've heard anything that I've said on highlight videos before, I'm telling you this. I should have made this the number 1 reason, but or the number 1 mistake that you're making, because really it is. Put the best play that you made all year first on that highlight video. This is not some kind of movie. You're not going to build up a plot and come to a climax at the end. Don't fool yourself. Those college coaches and the guys that watch film for them have hundreds and thousands of highlight videos to watch. You need to get their attention immediately. So the best thing you did all year needs to be the first thing that you show on that highlight video when they turn it on. Was it a 100-yard kickoff return? Was it a 90-yard interception? Was it an 80-yard touchdown run? Was it a 60-yard throw in the air that a guy caught that pinpointed and fell right in between 2 defenders? Put it first. Capture their attention right now. They're more likely to continue watching. Believe it or not, guys, college coaches will pull a tape out within seconds. Within seconds, if they don't think that player can play for them. Again, they've got a ton of these to watch. They don't have time to build up for minutes and minutes and minutes to find that one play that's going to be the difference between them paying attention to you or not. smack them in the face right now with your best play. And if you're doing this the right way, your second best play is the second play, and your third best play is the third play, and so on and so forth. You're going to do this in reverse order. It's going to be like a reverse top 10. My best play first, and I'm going to run it all the way down to my top 10 or 15, or if you're lucky enough to have made 20 great high quality plays during the season, you're going to run it from your best down to your 10th, 15th, or 20th best play, and you're going to have to hold that coach's attention immediately. Within 30 seconds sometimes a coach can tell whether or not you're a player that can play for them. And the only way for you to really show that is to show the best of what you've done immediately. All right, I want you to think of it like a rapper or a music artist coming into the labels meeting. They've got a bunch of guys that want to be on the label, they want a record deal, and you can't come in there with music and have them listening to it for 10, 15 minutes before you actually play the music that they want to hear, that they know their fans and their listeners want. You've got to hit them with your best stuff first. And it's the same thing with highlight videos. Best play first, don't wait, don't build up to it. Drop that best play on them right away and go in that order. That's how you capture the college coach's attention and keep them watching your highlight video. And that's it, guys. Stick to those 3 tips. Don't do those 3 things, and you're just on your way to making yourself a solid highlight video. Keep in mind when you're doing this and you're doing all things in recruiting, there are thousands and thousands of guys across the country that want the exact same thing that you want. Remember, this thing is super competitive. So you want to stick to what it is I was telling you here in this video. The best of all being, put your best play first and do it in reverse order. Keep that college coach watching your highlight video. Hey, the longer he's watching your highlight video, the less time he's spending watching your competition. And I can't stress it enough. There are thousands and thousands of guys that want what you want, and it's all about sticking out in a crowd. So stick to those 3, and you'll be well on your way to making yourself a solid highlight video from last year's great plays that you made out on the gridiron. Hey, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, I need you guys to do me 3 favors. First of all, like the video, share the video, and please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and touch that bell so you'll be notified the next time I put out a solid, sink your teeth into recruiting video. So again, subscribe, like, share, help me out. And also, don't forget, if you're a high school football player, drop a comment below with where you play your high school ball, along with what year you're graduating, as well as what positions you play. Are you a multi-position player? We'd love to hear it. So drop a comment there for me. Again, thanks for watching. It's Chad Wilson. It's Gridiron Studs. Be seen.